So either against my better judgment or just for my love of RC racing, we're getting another Losi Nascar. I was going to go get it today, but you know, adulting life kind of happens. I'm Chad, this is the Dorky and 40 RC channel. Let's talk about the Losi Nascar 2025. Going to pick one up tomorrow. And you know, we've got two sub cars that we purchased last year. One was shitty. One was subpar. Third time's a charm, maybe. I guess we'll see. A lot of people are upset about the price increase. I agree, but the way I look at it for myself personally is I don't plan on purchasing any other RC car to race right now. I have my buggy. I have my on-road 12 scale car. I've got my Oval Works truck. I've got my TTO2. I can't spend $250 on any other type of race car and go to multiple tracks on road and oval and still race and have as much fun as I see people having. And you know, the other thing is I go to these big races, and just last month, I had 2 or 3 people come up to me and tell me like how much they enjoyed the videos and the content that I made on the NASCAR. And then a new family showed up at the track. 2 or 3 of the kids and the dad all have Losi Nascars, and they complimented me and stuff. So, you know, I almost feel like I owe everybody that watched any of these Losi videos some success and some greatness with this damn thing as well. Now, there's no doubts that the numbers as far as the racing has dropped off as far as like how many people have the car, and I'm sure the overall interest in the car. But facts and data don't lie. And the facts and data prove that they're still the biggest classes that there are. There's at least 2 to 3 times as many people on a regular Wednesday night oval running that truck right there. And sometimes, especially during the summer, because, you know, people kind of take racing season off, especially indoors. You know, there's 3 or 4 of us right now running like 12 scale GT12s. Like, I'm using these opportunities to like just become a better driver. You know, I'm still racing against amazing competition, which is great, and just learn more about racing. But that kind of leads me to another reason why I want to get the car again, is that anytime you get track time, no matter how different the cars are, it always translates over to you being a better racer. Putting more track time in on my GT12 car here makes me a better buggy racer, and running the buggy makes me a better GT12 racer. It just all comes down to help building the mind-body connection. One of the biggest problems I have is still overdriving my GT12 car. Now, you cannot overdrive a Losi for sure on an on-road course, because you just absolutely cannot, because you're not going to make it around the track. So I'm hoping that that's going to help improve the overall racing, and I know it's going to improve the overall enjoyment of everything as well. If you want to help me in my journey and improving my overall enjoyment, you can join the channel down below to become a YouTube member. Appreciate all of my members out there. Thank you very much for your support. It is very, very welcome. Now, I'll probably be going with the Logano just because I don't want another blue one. Maybe blue is bad luck. I don't know. I don't want to spend the money on an extra body and do a livery up. I could care less. I just want to get something and throw it out there. I know we'll probably have to pick up an extra set of tires because we'll have to do the double glue job up front for on-road. More than likely, we'll still need the 1 tire glued for oval on the front right. I did notice that Losi has updated their manual for the car for 2025. They've actually put in some maintenance tips down here, which include final specifications as far as like what is actually inside of your diff. Regular black grease, we all know that, and 40 weight Losi shock oil all around, which I think we all kind of knew, but then everybody of course plays with oil and all that stuff. I've done plenty of videos on how to like tune your shocks and everything else. So, but we never got the results that we really wanted. You know, there's something that was always holding us back with the performance of the car. Chances are the next car that we get also is going to be subpar, but it could be a rocket. Who knows? There are a lot of parts that are available. All the parts are out there now. You know, everybody still runs them box stock besides changing out bodies And, you know, I think some tracks allow a heat sink and some tracks allow to add a little bit of weight. You know, people are changing bearings and stuff, but the biggest thing I've seen is that people are prepping tires in multiple ways. And also they have many, many motors to try to find out which one is great. And you really only see that at the very, very large races for oval that I have been to, where there's 25 to 30 at least of these things running. And, you know, with my truck, I run it, you know, you're there for a very, very long time. And, you know, running another car like that, unless I ran it in like a breakout type of class where you shouldn't have to worry about doing a whole lot of extra maintenance, you're still burning up like your foam tires. So, you know, the cost of operation and all that stuff is expensive. You're also running down your batteries as well. And one thing that's been happening in our current supply chain issues is that batteries, good batteries for trucks like that, are becoming hard to find. There's still some out there, but they might become even harder to find. So again, for me personally, it makes sense because this is what I want to do. I think a lot of people bought these initially and they wanted to throw them out there on the asphalt and just go crazy with them. And some people raced them indoors. A lot of people did. And then, you know, it kind of fell off. But again, the data and the numbers don't lie. It's still the largest class. Nobody runs TTO2 here anymore because they can run a Losi at half to third of the price, even though I've demonstrated that you can build a TTO2 for about this same price now, and you would have a much faster racing experience, a better racing experience because they could take a hit. The Losis, of course, still can't take a hit. Like if you get hit wrong, like you go this way and go to the wall, but that's all right. Nothing happens to your car. You might need marshaled. It might flip back over, but the cars don't break. They hold up freaking great. That exactly what they have meant to be do is just to get people into racing and keep them racing at almost no cost after the initial purchase. So I'm pretty excited about it. You know, again, it's something to do and hang out at the track, and we'll see if we learn new stuff. I don't think there's anything else that we can add to what we've done, but you know, we're going to see if we could figure some stuff out. So just to give you guys a heads up, I'm going to pick up the Losi tomorrow. We'll probably grab a second battery, maybe the charger again, because I got rid of all that stuff. I've got my nice charging stand here from Mr. Patrick Barber that can keep everything charged up. And you know, this is what we're going to do. We race cars here on the channel. We don't put shit on shelves. We don't do build videos and all that kind of stuff. So we race cars, and this is a car that is still being raced to this day. And maybe once a couple of these liveries come out, and if there is a little bit of a price reduction, maybe we will see another influx of cars to the tracks. And in the meantime, the least I could think of is that like it's going to help me patronize the local tracks a little bit more by running additional race fees, or just, you know, getting me to the track in general, because sometimes you just don't want to pack up your big tote bag and your batteries and everything else. Sometimes you just want to throw your shit in a book bag and like go to the track and just run some laps and come home. And that's exactly what you can do with this thing right here. So that is it, guys. We'll get it out of the box. We'll take off the shocks, make sure everything moves nice and easy. We'll do all that here on the bench here. So it's Sunday now. There's on-road TTO2 racing on Tuesday night. There's oval on Wednesday night. So we could do us a lot of racing this week. So we'll see how the whole week pans out with like the schedule and everything. But I think we're going to be able to turn some massive laps with the new car this week, and we'll bring you guys along on the journey. So we will talk to you all later. Appreciate each and every one of you and the channel members. Peace.